2021 Code Enforcement Board hearing. At this time, board, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Certainly. Welcome. My name is Mark Booth. I'm the chairman of the board. And to my immediate left is Terry Truth Nolan. To the far left is Justin Beecham. To my far right, or to my far left is William Groucho Marx. And we have Chris Matchpoint Everett. So, and our city attorney is Jolly, Mr. Bruce Holly Jolly.
At this time, inspectors, please stand. And ma'am, can you please stand also? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You all may be seated. Our first case is Inspector Alexander Albores. It's on page 1, property address 417 Southeast 16th Street, case number BE 200-80069. Owner, Edward W. Sherborne Revocable Trust, Edward W. Sherborne Trustee. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This is a new business case. Okay, at this time, Mr. Galatis and Mr. Sherborne, can you please raise your right hand? Oh, press *6, please.
Yes, hands raised.
Okay. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Edward? Yes. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Inspector.
Good morning, everyone. Alexander Albores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number BE 2008-0069, property address 417 Southeast 16th Street. I initially visited this property on August 6th, 2020, responding to a call from the fire department to investigate a ceiling collapse. During this inspection, I met with Fire Inspector Katie Williams and property owner Mr. Edward Sherburne. Also during this inspection, I found that a section of the ceiling had collapsed, appearing to have been caused by water from above, coming down from above the ceiling. Owner allowed me access to the entire building, which consisted of 3 separate units. Ceiling collapse happens in units 1 and 2. No ceiling collapse observed in unit 3 at the time of that particular inspection. Also during this inspection, I observed that the kitchen had been removed in unit 1. The owner, Mr. Sherburne, informed me that he removed the kitchen. There was also a bathroom installed in the rear of the property that is not reflected in the latest approved floor plan found on record. There was also roof modifications done at the northwest corner section of the roof. Record shows no permit application for this work. The property was cited for work without permit, Florida Building Code 2017, Section 105.1. An inspection report was mailed to the property owner with 30 days to get into compliance. Case was opened August 7, 2020. Inspection report mailed to the property owner August 10, 2020. Final notice was mailed on October 20th, 2020. On October 27th, 2020, we received a call from Mr. Ted Galatis, who identified himself as representing the owner. As per Mr. Galatis' request, a meeting was scheduled at the property, at which time I found that the owner had continued with plumbing work on Unit 1's kitchen area. In addition, the owner had commenced ceiling repairs without a permit. During this inspection, owner stated that the property is not being occupied. City is requesting for this board to find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 91 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. At this time, I will let the respondent speak.
Okay. Am I muted or unmuted?
Unmuted.
You just muted yourself, sir. Now you're unmuted.
Okay, good. All right, a brief response. Ed Sherburne bought this property back in March of 2017. He closed on the 31st. We did a lien search with ASAP Tax and Lien Search, and their report came back that There was one open permit, and it dealt with a 6-foot wooden fence. That was it. So Mr. Sherburne didn't put any additions on this building. The surveys that we have from 1998, which was provided by the seller of the property, one Dottie Parker. Dottie Parker's survey from 1998 showed the exact layout of the building as it stands today. And so does the updated survey that we obtained from Accurate Land Surveyors. He paid $350,000 for this building at 417, and Dottie Parker had been using it to rent rooms to the cruise industry employees. So they were weekly rentals. Well, Mr. Sherburne continued that process until he ran into several problems with some tenants. That's what led up to this whole thing. In August of 2020, he was evicting a tenant, and the tenant called the fire department or called the city of Fort Lauderdale. They're the ones that initiated this complaint. And yes, there had been a roof leak, and the roof did collapse. The ceiling collapsed. The roof was intact. Mr. Sherburne repaired the roof, stopped the leaks, and then Mr. Alvarez got involved, so we hired an architect, Robert Alika, in Wilton Manors. And Bob Alika drew up a set of plans, and we applied for a permit, and a permit's been issued. The water pipe that Mr. Alvarez mentioned that was being repaired, it had to be repaired because a screw had been passed through the pipe, and he had a leak, and he couldn't get a plumber out to the property, so he cut the pipe. He shut the water off at the street, cut the pipe, spliced in a new pipe, and yes, the wall behind the bathroom is open and exposed because he had to make that repair to stop leaking. There is no kitchen in this unit. He's out of the weekly rental business. All he does now is use that building for storage. He lives on the back side, the north side of this property. So I think it's 416 Southeast 15th Street is his residence. And this property, which is immediately adjacent to the south at 417 Southeast 16th Street. So he stores things in this property, the subject property. And he's moving toward getting this permit closed out. He wants to put this behind him. The gentleman's 92 years old. I've tried to urge him to sell these two properties because that would be the wise thing for him to do at his age. And he's left them to the Salvation Army. I want you to know that in his revocable living trust, he has these properties will benefit the Salvation Army, I think of Broward County, or I'm not sure which unit it is. But in any event, the gentleman's living on a fixed income, $580 a month in Social Security benefits. He had rental income when he was renting by the week, but that ended last year, in 2020. So things are tough for him, but he wants to be in compliance. And please give us the opportunity to bring this property into compliance. That's all I have. Mr. Sherburne, do you have anything to add?
No, I do not.
Thank you. Do you have any questions, board?
Would you say one thing that they wanted a kitchen, and he's saying that they didn't?
I can clarify that.
Go ahead.
The Mr. Galates, he just admitted that he's done repair permit. That he's done repairs, plumbing repairs that also requires a permit.
Does the roof repair require a permit?
Yes, it requires a permit.
How much of the roof was repaired?
The repair that he's referring to, it's plumbing repair. It's not roofing repair. He
admitted that they repaired some roof leaks, didn't he?
Exactly. He did not discuss how much repairs he did to the roof. He did admit that the leak was caused by a screw on a pipe.
Right.
That's a plumbing repair that requires a permit. Okay. The case is for the kitchen plumbing. There's photos of the kitchen before when I went during the initial inspection, and there's photos taken at the second, during the second inspection that shows the work that Mr. Sherburne was currently doing at the time.
Describe it to me if you could.
He replaced some copper water lines in the kitchen area in Unit 1. In addition, he went ahead and he removed the kitchen from Unit 2, and this is after the initial inspection. Now, Mr. Galatas now it's saying that the units are going to be used for storage. That the certificate of occupancy is for a residential, for dwelling units, okay? The minute their kitchen is removed, it does not meet that definition. If he's going to use it for storage, he's gonna need a change of use permit. Use it for storage.
Can I clarify?
Please.
When I said storage, he's not running a storage business. He stores his belongings in there.
Yes.
It's his belongings. He's not storing anybody else's belongings.
How much of the roof was repaired?
What happened was this building is a composite of, I think, 3 separate buildings since the 50s or 40s, whenever it was constructed. And I went back into the archives and found some drawings, but I'm unable to really, and my architect for that matter, was unable to really determine what was done. The leak in the roof was at a juncture between a flat roof and a hip roof. And all he did was lay out some tar paper and put some mastic over it. He didn't rip up any tiles. It's a shingle. It's a shingle roof on the pitch portion. The flat portion, I'm not sure what it is, what the material is, but all he did was, I understand, was put some paper up there and some stick. And that stopped the roof leak.
Does that require a permit doing that roof repair?
It does require a permit. Roof repair requires a permit, and if it's over 25%, the whole roof needs to be repaired.
Oh, this was nowhere near 25%. This was like one little stretch, one little area.
That's why in this particular situation, you can have a repair permit.
So there was no roof repair permit pulled, is that correct, sir?
Right, it was under $100. How much did you spend in materials, Ed?
Oh, probably about $150.
And you got up there yourself, Ed?
Yes, I put it up. It was punctured. That roof was punctured in the first apartment by a branch coming down from the tree. And the point went right, so I punched a hole in the roof. That's where the leak was. I went up and I patched it up with the roofing cement and roofing material, and it stopped the leak.
If it's $1,500, it does not need a repair permit.
All right, well, what about the plumbing then? You said that required a permit, right? The plumbing work that he did? Is that correct, sir?
Again, Ed, tell the judge what you did for the plumbing, the pipe that you had to repair, the copper pipe. Tell him.
I was removing the kitchen cabinets. As I was taking the base cabinet away from the wall, there was a screw that was into the wall when the installation was made. I started to unscrew to remove that, and all of a sudden a stream of water came right out. The moment I said, wait a minute, I couldn't, the what went in, I couldn't figure how could it be coming. And the more I screwed it out and pulled the cabinet, there was someone, when they put the plumber finished, someone put that cabinet there and put a screw in and went right through the pipe on both sides, in and out the other side.
So how did you?
That's what I had. I think I was removing the kitchen. No question. I'm not going to have any more tenants anyway. So I removed the cabinets, and I removed the cabinets in the other one. I don't want to be a tenant anymore.
Ed, listen to me. He wants you to focus on what you did to fix that leaky copper pipe. What did you do?
what did I do? I soldered it together. I put a union in there, and it's fixed. There's nothing wrong with it. Matter of fact, it's better than it was before.
All right, thank you.
All right, I've heard enough. I'll entertain a motion if someone wants to make.
Why was the fire department?
Talking to the microphone.
Why was the fire department telling you about this?
That was all caused by the tenant.
The tenants called the fire department because their ceiling collapsed in the dwelling unit that they were renting.
Yeah, well, there were more reasons behind it than that. I mean, that may be what they articulated to you, but the fact of the matter is they were involved in little civil litigation with Mr. Sherburne, and this was retaliatory in nature, but we're not going to go there. It doesn't really matter. That's how this whole thing arose.
Okay. Anyone want to make a motion?
So I'm down to, does he need any permits?
Pardon me?
Does he need any permits?
Does he need any permits is the question.
Yes, he needs permits for the plumbing repair. He needs permit for the kitchen. The units cannot remain without a kitchen. If he wants to board up the property and it's not going to be occupied, he'd have to get a boarding permit, board the property, and the property cannot be occupied for safe because it's not safe.
I know, but he hasn't been cited for that. What he's been cited for is construction work illegally for roof, kitchen, and bathroom. So the question is, did he do work without getting the proper permits? That's the question.
Well, that's exactly the $64 question, and the roof repair was under $150. I mean, so every homeowner in Fort Lauderdale now has to go get a permit if they want to put a little patch on their roof. I can't believe that.
Sir, I'm not saying that. I'm raising the question for the board.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. So, like I said, I'll entertain a motion if anyone wants to.
So his recommendation was for.
I move we dismiss the whole case.
So, no,
Oh, you're looking for the board members?
Yes, I'm asking for the board members if they want to make a motion.
Okay, can I hear what your recommendation was again? 50 days, was it?
I'm sorry?
What was the recommendation?
91 days to come into compliance and a $50 fine thereafter.
So he'll be able to come into compliance by obtaining a plumbing permit.
Period.
Yes, he would need a plumbing repair permit and kitchen alteration permit. And there is a bathroom that was added at the rear of the building that permit records, records show no permit for.
Is there a bathroom added at the rear of the building, sir?
Ed, you didn't add any bathrooms at this building, did you?
No.
He may not have. He may not have, but the evidence shows that there is a bathroom back there without a permit. And
You say that, but I have records from the city of Fort Lauderdale that says that there was no. Wait a minute. All open permits were closed. Hold on.
Question:
Let me give
is
you the
bathroom at the rear of the building. Is there yes or no?
Is there a bathroom at the rear of the building? Yes or no, Ed?
Yes.
Okay. So does the record show that that was permitted?
It's in the paper. It's on the original one, the copy. I looked at it myself. That was original there.
It was certainly back before 98 because I have the survey that shows that structure there in 1998.
What's the city have to say to that?
It's not in, attached to the case is the latest approved floor plan. That third bathroom is not reflected in that approved plan. The plan that he's referring to is the one that he provided for the recent permit that he obtained for the ceiling repairs, which, by the way, was not a violation because it was an emergency that happened. Repairs were required, but it was not work without permit because no work was done during the initial inspection. So the permit that the owner got was to repair the ceiling, not to address the other violations.
Oh, you know what, Your Honors, I did find an drawing that shows the bathroom. Edward Pilch is the general contractor. 1970. In 1970, he added that he called it a bedroom in the back of the building. It's in your historical document.
But it's not a bedroom, it's a bathroom. Is that correct?
It shows bedroom on this drawing from Edward A. Pilch, general contractor, dated June 9th, 1970.
Right, but it's actually a bathroom.
I guess Ed says it's a bathroom.
That's what the owner just testified to, that there's a bathroom back there.
Yeah, it's a bathroom now. Their drawing shows it as a bedroom.
Right, I got it. Okay. So,
I mean, I don't know if you have those historic drawings. The drawing from June 1st of 1970.
right.
Job 104. Edward A. Pilch, GC. It's 2 pages.
Mr. Inspector, is this something that he needs to get a permit for?
He needs to get a permit for the kitchen alteration, the kitchen to meet the definition of a dwelling unit, which is what the certificate of occupancy was issued for.
Right.
He needs to have a kitchen. And he needs, which includes the plumbing, obviously, and now a plumbing repair permit for the pipe that Mr. Galaditz mentioned that
Mark.
that the screw had perforated.
Mark,
Yes.
question.
Got a question.
So you need-
Is a leaking water pipe, is that not considered an emergency?
Exactly.
I mean, so if that's what he did, is that not
24 hours to get a permit after. The repairs can be done, but the permit is still required. It's just you don't need a permit to do the repairs. You go ahead, resolve the problem, get there, do the repairs, then hire the contractor to go apply for the permit and get a permit after the fact. And then so it can still be inspected to make sure that it was corrected up to code. Yes.
Does he need a permit to remove the bathroom in the rear?
If it's got
bring it back into
electrical,
compliance?
yes, he would need a permit to bring it back into
No.
compliance.
Does he need a permit to remove the bathroom to bring it back?
Yes,
into-
if there's electrical, yes, it needs an electrical.
So he needs a permit to remove what
Yes,
he
sir.
doesn't have a permit for.
Yes, sir.
I was
It's got electrical.
I was under the impression that if you demoed unpermitted work, you did not need a demo permit to demo unpermitted work.
Very good. That's a good point. But if it's got electrical for safety reasons, an electrical contractor needs to do that demolition.
Makes sense. Okay.
Or
about if he changes-
he gives us a letter from the electrician that
Well, you would agree that the roof is really a non-issue though, because it was $150. There's no evidence.
yes, I agree. If it's under $1,500, there's no issue with the roof.
And the evidence is that it was $150. So,
Okay.
issue with the roof. Okay.
What
So-
about if the building was a change of use, if it was changed to a non
President.
residence?
Yeah. So if he wants to occupy the building for storage, we don't know what he may want to store there. And for that reason, we require the change of use permit so that he could be, the reviewers can review and certain guidelines. Excuse me?
Why can't he just live in the whole house himself?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Why can't he just live in the whole dwelling himself?
He doesn't live in this building. He lives at
He said he lived in.
adjacent property.
He uses both properties as his residence. And by the way, I think that area is zoned residential office because that's how it was represented to us when we bought it in 2017 from Miss Parker. It
We're
was
not saying-
represented because she maintained an office at the 416 Southeast 15th Street address.
Well, he hasn't been cited for using a storage facility, so that's really a non-issue right now. The issue is
It's not being, okay.
the issue is the plumbing repair that he needs to get an after the fact permit, and the bathroom,
Kitchen repair,
the kitchen.
kitchen
Okay,
permit.
now we have a permit that's been issued. On the construction notes, it says all work is performed in accordance with the Florida Building Code. And it says the scope of work is to address the code violations in case number BE 2008-0069 as follows. The replacement of water damaged ceiling, as shown, and you have photographs of that. The leak in the plumbing pipe was repaired. The water damaged section of the west bathroom wall, which is between where the old kitchen was and the bathroom, that wall will be repaired after inspection.
Is there any evidence this permit is referring to?
Yes, it also says in those notes, there are no kitchens in these units. Again, there's photos of the kitchen that was there before, so he removed that kitchen without a permit. And there's no plumbing, electrical, or mechanical work under this permit. It's on the notes and it's attached to the case.
So it would appear that he still needs to get the permit for the plumbing work that he did and for the kitchen work that he did. So I'll entertain.
Well, we'll amend if you'll give us some time, I'll go back to the building department, get an amendment.
The city's recommending giving you 91 days, which,
Ready.
go ahead.
I move that we find for the city the violations exist and allege that we order the property owner to come in compliance by 91 days, or a fine of $25 per day per violation be imposed and recorded.
A second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No one's opposed. So you got 91 days to come into compliance. I think that's sufficient time, sir.
All right, we'll get a plumber.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And electricity.
Thank you. We excused?
Yes, you are, sir. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Our next case at the bottom of page 12, Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1320 Northwest 19th Street, case number CE 19091233. Owner, Paris Lakes, Shaniqua Williams. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This case was first heard on 1/28/20 to comply by 3/24/20. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. There's one extension noted.
It's a Massey hearing.
Yes, it's a Massey.
Good morning, Board. Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and address Fred. The owners has been in contact with me all the time. There is a permit that correction works were submitted to it on April 21st. The owner also applied for a fence permit. The city is requesting to hold the fines and is asking for 50-day extensions. So to help the owner to comply with the violations.
I'll entertain a motion for a 56-day extension.
A second.
I said I'll entertain a motion for a 60-day extension.
So you have to make the motion.
I have a motion,
Made a motion.
56-day extension.
I can't
Can't
hear.
make a motion.
I thought you made a motion. Like to make a motion for a 56-day extension.
Second.
All right, I got a motion made for a 56-day extension. A second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 13. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1545 Northwest 6th Street, case number CE 17020146. Notice posted to property on 4/9/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This case was first heard on 1/29/18 to comply by 6/26/18. Three sections at $10 per day per violation, order recorded, not complied. There are several extensions noted.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. I couldn't observe any change that occurred from the last hearing. There are still two permits. There is one that is a fire hood system permit about to expire. There is another permit that is in progress for the fire suppression system. And also, the case was open for the change of use, and no permit has been applied for the change of use. At this point, I will leave the decision for an extension to the board.
Is anyone here for the owner?
Excuse me, Corey. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Good morning. I'm Corey Ritchie, and I'm the CRA project manager for the city.
Okay.
And we're doing changes to this project. The problem with this project is that with the hood and everything, because of its own sys trunk, the zoning asked us to put a protector over the roof, and we finally got the design completed through the building department. But now that when we had everything up, when we got the inspection, they said that we need to put roofing material to enclose the enclosure. So now we had to go back and do some drawings, and now the drawings are with the city to do to approve what we going to install. So right now the drawings are at the planning department, zoning, and once it get out of the zoning, we're able to start back construction.
How much time do you think you need?
3 months, I have it all wrapped up.
91 days.
Yes, sir.
Hang on. Does the city have a problem with 91 days? Okay, go ahead.
I have a motion for.
I just want to add something there, Your Honor. I mean, the case was open because they needed a change of use, and the permit hasn't been applied. So I just want to record that on the records.
Okay,
that they.
You have an objection to 91-day extension?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a motion for 91-day extension.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for 91-day extension. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed. And 91 days, let's get it done. Next case.
Our next case is a new business case on page 1. Inspector Alexander Alvarez, property address 3000 Riverland Road, case number BE 201-00017. Owner Steve Ostrovsky. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21. Posted at City Hall 4/12/21.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Steve Ostrovsky. I'm the property owner.
Yes, one moment, Steve.
Hang on, sir.
We're waiting to get Daniel on as well.
Waiting for the city to present
Daniel
their
Rodriguez
case.
is with you, correct?
Yes, it should be with me on the line.
Okay. He's not there?
City want to present the case? Go ahead.
I'm here. One moment, let me swear them in first, please. Okay, Steve and Daniel, can you please raise your right hand?
Yes.
Okay. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, Inspector.
Alexander Labores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number BE 2010-0017, property address 3000 Riverland Road. I initially visited this property on October 6, 2020 to investigate a complaint regarding work without permit, including an attached pergola structure built in the rear of the house next to the pool, a detached structure in the rear yard, and an attached carport at the east side of the house. I met with the owner, Mr. Ostrovsky, who informed me that he had applied for a pergola permit. Records show accessory structure permit BLD-ACC-191-00016 issued March 10, 2020. The permit did not include detached structure at the rear yard. During the inspection, the owner informed me that he would submit a revision for the detached rear structure. The owner stated that he would remove the attached carport located in the side of the house. The property was cited for work without permit. FCC Section 105.1, an inspection report was mailed to the property owner with 30 days to get into compliance. Case was opened October 9, 2020. Inspection report mailed to the property owner October 9, 2020. Final notice was mailed on December 18, 2020. Yesterday, on April 26, 2021, I visited the property again and met with the owner. I found that the house has been partially demolished and some construction has been commenced on the main house. The carport, however, that was in violation has been removed from the side of the house. Owner informed me that there was a section of the wood floor that collapsed due to termite damage and that he hired an architect and applied for residential alteration permit. Records show residential alteration permit BLD-RADD 21020008 applied February 16, 2021 for new second floor addition and remodeling. As of yesterday, April 26, 2021, the permit has not been issued and work without permit violation remains. I inform owner not to complete any additional work until permits are issued. And in addition, I once again reminded the owner that a permit is required for the detached structure. Owner agreed not to complete any additional work until permits are issued. City is requesting for the board to find the violations exist and to grant property owner 91 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. At this time, I will let the respondent speak.
All right, sir, gentlemen. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Like inspector say, the pergola was attached on the building. It was removed because we don't want any violation. And also we hired the engineer and the architect. So it's going to be basically go with me all the project from this point and forward. And of course, the Daniel Rodriguez basically can explain all situation better on me.
So as Steve said, that the house was found to have some termite damage and part of the roof collapsed. So some emergency repairs came into place. And we also have applied permits for the other accessory structures that weren't permitted. So at this time we have been made aware of the situation, and we just want to have some additional time to resolve this.
Okay, let me see if I understand. The carport is no longer an issue, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. What about the pergola structure? Is that still an issue?
Yes, the one that was previously attached, that now the house has been partially demolished, so this time it's not attached. That and the other unattached structure, both of those structures in the rear yard, they need to be included in the permit that he applied for. There's no permit up.
And are you guys saying that you need some more time? The city is willing to give you 91 days. Will that be enough time, sir?
Yes, sir. I will submit it to the city, and we'll go through the plan review process to get this permit. And as the inspector said, I will include both buildings in the main permit as well.
Okay. All right. We're going to give you 9. I think we're going to give you 9.
I have a motion
to do that. Go ahead.
I move that we find for the city the violation exists and allege that we order the property owner to come in compliance by 91 days or a fine of $50 per day per violation be imposed and recorded.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. Okay, you guys got 91 days. Let's get it done.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 2. Inspector Alexander Albores, property address 3150 Northwest 66th Street. Case number CE 2007065. Owner Kelly A. Rutner. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21. Posted at City Hall 4/12/21. It's a new business case. See, it's like. They're there. Hi, Kelly. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? I can't hear her. Kelly, can you hear us?
Kelly, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you. So please check the settings on your microphone.
I muted and unmuted.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hear you now.
Okay.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
Go
Inspector?
ahead, City.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number CE 2007-0065, property address 3150 Northwest 66th Street. I initially visited this property on July 7, 2020 to investigate a work without permit complaint regarding windows and a shed structure in the rear of the property. I met in person with owner, Ms. Akali Ruttenauer, and informed her about the reason of my visit. Owner stated that the windows were installed approximately 5 years ago. Owner did not allow me access to the backyard to look at the shed. Photos taken from the front of the property. As I was walking towards my city vehicle, the neighbor living in adjacent property 3160 Northwest 66th Street, Mr. Mike Macaluso, approached me and identified himself as the complainant. Mr. Macaluso invited me to his backyard to look at the shed structure that was built next and adjacent to his property. Photos taken. After performing additional research, I found before and after photos on BCPA from the front of the house. And after comparing photos, it was determined that at the very least, the front windows were replaced. The property was cited for work without permit, Florida Building Code 2017, Section 105.1. Case was opened July 2nd, 2020. Inspection report mailed to the property owner July 15, 2020, with 30 days to get into compliance. Final notice was mailed on August 21st, 2020. The city is requesting for this magistrate to find that the violations exist and grant property owners 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. At this time, I'd like the respondent speak.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, so after moving here, we did build the shed and put in the windows without the permit. Coming from Illinois, we lived in a very small town and we didn't have to apply for permits there for those things. So, you know, we are kind of playing dumb on that. We did have a lot of major family issues. My son-in-law broke his neck, so I had to go up north to help my daughter who is 6 months pregnant. I also went up for the birth of my granddaughter. We've had a lot of personal things going on as we're trying to work with this. So we did hire Aruba Permit Service to work with us, and they are still, we talked to them this morning, still working on this to try and get it resolved. We do want to get it resolved. We do want to be compliant and do anything that we need to do to get this compliant with the city.
56 days will be enough time, ma'am?
I believe that would be, yes.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a motion. I move that we find for the city that the violation exists and allege that we order the property owner to come into compliance by 56 days or a fine of $25 per day if the violation be imposed and reported.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Got 56 days, okay, ma'am? So let's get it done.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, next case.
Our next case is on page 6. Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 1740 Northeast 49th Street, case number CE 200-20822, owner Anna Netsevich. This case was first heard on 1/26/21 to comply by 4/27/21. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. Hi, Anna, can you please start your video? Oh, she doesn't have video? Can you please press *6 to unmute?
Hello?
Hi, Anna, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I swear.
Thank you.
Good morning, Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city, updating case as read. I talking on the phone this morning with the property owner, Miss Anna Knesovic. They already know exactly what they need to do. They actually pull or apply for a permit, but the work included in that permit doesn't include the violations that we cited for. So now she understands and she agreed to include those violations, the rest of the work in that permit. So I'm requesting a 91-day extension.
Okay, property owner, Anna, do you have any issue with 91 days?
No, that's good. That's enough time. All the contractors are very busy right now, but I already have the people in place. I'm just waiting for them to have a little time to help with the actual pulling one more permit.
Okay.
And then everything else will be included as talked to the inspector.
Okay, I have a motion.
I move for a 91-day extension.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for 91-day extension. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 9, Inspector Bobby Mazzullo, property address 211 Southwest 2nd Street, W, owner Riverwalk Center Ltd, case number CE 19070753. This case was first heard on 8/27/19 to comply by 11/26/20. 3 sections at $50 per day per violation. Order recorded. Comply. City is requesting to abate all fines.
Rob Masola, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case CE 19070753, property 211 Southwest 2nd Street, Unit W. The violations for this code case have been complied. I'm requesting that the board abate any and all fines to $0. Thank you.
Is the owner present?
Hi, Diane, can you please unmute yourself? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any problem with abating all fines?
No.
I'll entertain a motion.
I have a motion to abate all fines.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to abate all fines. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, board.
Thank you, board.
Go ahead. Next case.
Our next case is on page 8 at the bottom. Inspector Bobby Mazzullo, property address 672 West Evanston Circle, case number CE 18110067. Owner Alexa A. Cosme, Julia Soto. This case was first heard on 2/25/20 to comply by 3/24/20. 1 section at $25 per day. Order recorded, not complied. There are 2 extensions noted. Bobby, please let me swear them in first. Mr. Cosme, can you please start your video?
Yes. You hear me?
Yes. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Rob Masola, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case CE 18110067, property 672 West Evanston Circle. Permit application BLD RALT 20100111, failed plan review and is pending needed corrections as of April 8th, 2021. Based on the plan review notes, there's no permit activity to address the plumbing remodel. The electrical plan review states not required. The fact that the kitchen and 2 bathrooms were completely demoed, completely remodeled, leads me to believe that the applicant is not being forthcoming on the application to properly permit the work that has in fact been performed. Based on this information and the lack of compliance, I cannot support an extension at this time. I have further additional notes and pictures that the board requires. Thank you.
Mr. Cosme, it's up to you. Go ahead.
Your panel, I sent a submission of the permit and it's routed for plan distribution on 4/26/2021, accepted by Hope Baker. I spoke with the plumbing planner, Mr. James West, and he notified me what I needed to be done, and I told the contractor, which Lloyd is on the plan right here. Lloyd submitted the new plans for that. So that's where I'm at right now. So he add the bathrooms and all that. But when I spoke with James White on his comment, he said the permit was for removing the kitchen sink, dishwasher and all that, but then he added the bathrooms and all that. And I explained that to the contractor, which has been submitted in the Lauderdale on 4/26 on Monday, which is in the plan process right now. So I'm waiting on this Department of Buildings to review the plans.
All right, hang on a second. I have a question for Bob. Bob, what needs to be done for him to get in compliance?
If I heard him correctly, he mentioned a date of 4/26 yesterday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if he resubmitted something yesterday, I'm not aware of it. Yes, I did compare notes with the plumbing review department. And so the board's aware. Let me just share with you and remind the board, this code case is from November 2018. Okay. The original building inspector that went to this property, his notes were documented on November 7, 2018. I'd like us to read this to the board. Building inspector inspected this property. Today met with the owner's rep, Lucy Lopez, was allowed to inspect the property. There were men installing tile in the bathroom. There were several violations noted. Bathrooms and kitchens remodeled. Hot water heater installed. AC unit installed. Front door and rear exterior doors and garage doors installed. Wood columns at garage entrance. Electrical outlets in kitchen and electrical outlets in kitchen and utility room. Now, board, the property owner did get a permit for the garage door and an alteration to the windows and doors. I have a picture here. The kitchen has been completely demoed and remodeled, including electrical and plumbing. There are, in fact, in the utility room, electrical outlets were installed. The water heater was replaced. There are 2 bathrooms in this house. The bathrooms were completely demoed, remodeled, new shower pan, shower valve, plumbing fixtures removed and replaced. This conversation took place with what happened, fast forward, the investor sold this property. And the person that bought the property, I personally spoke with him over a year ago. I spent a lot of time to clearly walk him through the permit process requirements. A full set of permits is required with a master permit, a sub of an electrical, a sub of a plumbing, and a sub of a mechanical. I'm at a disadvantage if he is stating that he's resubmitted something yesterday, but what I would like and what I would recommend is that this case be scheduled for a Massey hearing, that it returns in 28 days. And if the property owner has made positive progress towards compliance and has in fact applied for all the required permits, then I'll support an extension in 28 days. But this time I would recommend no extension and a Massey hearing.
All right, let me ask you this. Of these 6 items, are there any that are in compliance that we can take off, or are they all still not in compliance?
I'm sorry if I don't have the list in front of me, but the garage door and the alterations to the exterior openings has been permitted. That is in compliance.
Wooden columns at garage door entrance. That's okay.
And I'm not aware of any of the other violations being in compliance.
All right, does anyone want to make a motion, or do you want to set this for Mass?
Massive.
All right, so you got 28 days to show Bob here, and you should really be in contact with Bob about what you've submitted and your progress. Okay, sir? Alexi?
Yes. So in 28 days,
go ahead.
We'll be back another hearing.
Yeah, 28 days. We're going to come back here to decide whether to impose a fine against you or not.
Uh-huh.
Suggest that you stay in contact with Bob, because if you come into compliance, or if you're working towards compliance, Bob will work with you.
Okay, so board, I just want to make sure we're on agreement and that the respondent clearly understands that we're not giving an extension. It's going to be set for a Massey, and he's got 28 days to make sure he's applied for permits in order for me to support an extension 28 days from now.
I got it.
Mr. Soto, you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, again, sir, we've had this conversation a couple times in the last 18 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's work towards compliance. Next case.
Thank you, board.
Our next case is on page 9 at the top, Inspector Bobby Mazzula. Property address 901 Southeast 14th Street. Owner Karen Durley. Case number CE 18110574. This case was first heard on 9/24/19 to comply by 11/26/19. One section at $50 per day.
Okay,
Order
hang on.
recorded,
Go ahead. Finish.
not comply. There are 3 extensions noted.
Go ahead, Yvette. What did you want? If there was no motion, it's just going to be sent for Massey.
Hi, hello?
Yes.
Hi, Karen. Can you please start your video?
Yep.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Rob Masola for Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case CE 18110574, property 901 Southeast 14th Street. There are 5 applied for permits at this time related for the violations for this code case. These permits have not passed plan review and have not been followed up with needed corrections. These applications are dangerously close to being purged from our system for the time lapse. We would leave the decision for an extension to the board. Thank you.
Go ahead, ma'am. Karen, go ahead. You have to say.
Okay. So I do finally have Jace Solutions, permit expediter, helping me with this, and also submitted a mechanical permit yesterday. I'm really close to getting through all of this. I have her working on it, and so far I think she's doing a good job. I am asking for an extension, another 90 days, and it should all be completed.
Why 9? Why is it going to take 91 days to get this done?
Because she asked me for 60 days, and I think your other option was 56 days. I think that's just a little too short.
Is there anything, withdrawn? Go ahead. I'll entertain a motion.
Bobby, what did you recommend?
What did you recommend?
I'll leave it up to us.
Technically leaving the decision for the extension to the board.
I have a motion.
Go ahead.
56 days.
A motion for 56 days. Do I have a second?
Second.
I got a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, board.
Okay, 56 days. Let's get it done, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
At this time, board, let's take a short recess.
Okay,
Thank you.
take a short recess.
Okay, thanks for your patience. Our next case is on page 4. Inspector Bobby Mazzullo.
Right here,
Bobby's not there?
not there.
Okay.
No.
Okay, he's coming now. I'll go ahead and start reading the case. Did you bring Mr. Magnuson? Property address 1617 Southeast 15th Street, number 501. Case number CE 191-00180. Owner Magnus Rasmussen. Magnus Rasmussen Revocable Livable Trust. Notice posted at the property on 4/13/21. Posted at City Hall 4/12/21. Mr. Rasmussen, can you please raise your right hand? One moment, please. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, Inspector.
Okay, board, just to confirm this, or I'm sorry, staff, this is 1617 Southeast 15th Street? Okay. Rob Mazzullo, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, case number CE 19100180. Property 1617 Southeast 15th Street, Unit 501. I would like to enter a copy of the notice of violation into the record, which details the violations as listed on the agenda, as well as the corrective action for each violation. An AC was removed and replaced without the required permits. I made a site visit to the property on October 1st, 2019, and I took the pictures that are before you today. Permit application, MEC, HVCHG 21020086 was applied for on February 16th, 2021. The plan review was not completed because the application was incomplete at the time and is pending corrections in resubmittal. I would like to include a display of the data photos taken of the property, enter them in evidence. I ask that the board find for the city that the property owner is in violation. Ask the board to order the property owner to come in compliance within 61 days or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Magnuson. Oh, Mr. Rasmussen.
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead. You may speak now.
Yes, for the record, the picture of that AC was the original violation and has since been replaced by a whole new unit to try to come into compliance. I used Art AC, an electric company, to do this. They finished the original installation in July of last year, but subsequently failed the inspection. They did some other repair work or put some additional hardware on the condenser unit to see if it would pass inspection again. And then again, it failed in October of last year. I'm working with them almost on a daily basis. I call them to get updates about getting this permit resolved. And hopefully I can do that within 61 days. But this company is large, has a good reputation within the city, but they are master procrastinators in this case, and I'm not sure understand why, but I'm doing the best I can to resolve the permit issue. So,
so you admit that you did replace the AC without a permit and then tried to correct it after the fact. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Correct. But the picture that you're showing me right now is of the old unit that I put in without a contract to put in without a permit. That unit is no longer there. I was forced to put in an entire new condenser unit and air handler unit to try and comply with the open permit violation, and that has been installed with additional hardware. As you can see, I think Mr. Mazzullo is well aware that that building has some serious structural issues as far as placing the condenser units on those old pads. So it's a problem to put new condenser units with a new Sears rating on those old pads that were constructed in 1969. So that's the issue. I mean, I'm trying to do the best I can to get it done, but I'm relying on Art AC and Electric to I suppose, file the right engineering plans and just get the paperwork sorted out so we can get the installation passed.
Bob, do you want to say something?
Mr. Rasmussen, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I just want to remind you, per our conversation, what you just said a minute ago, when you referred to the inspections, technically the inspections have never taken place. What's not been approved is technically the plan review. And just to be upfront, board, there was a previous permit applied for. I can't remember the exact date. I didn't even make reference to it. It might be back from July 2020. That permit was never followed up with whatsoever. And then there was a new permit applied for in February of this year. So that's the one that I'm making reference to. And Mr. Rasmussen, that is the one you and I spoke with a few weeks ago, that technically they need to follow up with the plan review and satisfy the plan review in order to get that permit active and issued. So I just want to be clear on that.
I understand that. I get that. However, I did meet with an inspector on 2 occasions on the property where he failed the failed inspection because the company provided the wrong engineering plans.
A mechanical inspector from the Fort Lauderdale Building Department?
Correct. Twice. Once in July after the original installation, not the original installation, but the subsequent installation to try to resolve the permit. An inspector came out, failed it, and then came out again in October after additional hardware had been put in, failed again.
Okay, I'm not aware of a permit being active and issued, sir, unless it's somebody came out as a courtesy to the contractor. If you can possibly share that with me via email. Either way, board, I believe the facts and evidence are presented before you. I'm willing to support a 61 days.
I move that we find for the city.
I'm sorry, 56.
Exists as alleged and that we order the property owner to come into compliance by 56 days, or a fine of $50 per day per violation be imposed and recorded.
Second. I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Motion carries. You got 56 days. Let's get it done. Okay.
Thank you, board.
You're welcome.
Is that it?
Yes, that's it. 56 days. Let's get it done.
All right, sir.
Take care.
Our next case is at the top of page 14. Inspector Bobby Mazzula, property address 3010 Southwest 17th Street. Owner Francisco Jose Rodriguez. Case number CE 19020717. Notice posted at the property 4/13/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This case was first heard on 7/23/19 to comply by 8/27/19. One section at $100 per day, order recorded, not complied. There are 3 extensions noted. This is a massing hearing.
Rob Masola, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case CE 19020707, property 3010 Southwest 17th Street. Master permit PM 19081080, along with the electrical and plumbing permits, appear to have been renewed, along with a change of contractor back in November 2020. No inspections have been scheduled since. More than 90 days have lapsed, and technically these permits should be expired. It is questionable if the required revisions were ever obtained. I do not have a record of that. I did have a conversation during the break with the property representative who will address the board. We discussed a mechanical violation. Board, if there's any reference on your paperwork referencing a mechanical violation, I am going to withdraw that 100%, and I'm going to honor what she has informed me about the mechanical. I want to inform the board, the electrical rough inspection on this property failed inspection back on September 19th, 2019. Again, it was never re-inspected, even when that permit was renewed back in November 2020. We would request that the owners the board, and we would leave the decision for any extension to the board. Thank you.
Anyone on this case?
Lady before you.
Oh, okay. Hi, go ahead.
I'm not used to seeing somebody here.
Hi, my name is Chindra Lopez. My sister.
Be sworn
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
And what is your name and your relation to this property?
Gindra Lopez, my sister, she was the owner of the property. My brother-in-law is actually the owner of the property right now.
Okay.
What happened is they had a bad experience with the previous contractor. The guy took $68,000 pretending he was a contractor. He was pulling a permit. We went to the court. We win the case, but basically we didn't get the judgment or anything like ours towards the money because the guy doesn't have nothing. He's a licensed contractor working under somebody else's license. So we lost $68,000. We went again. We did the chain of contractor. The last time we were here, our father was very sick with COVID. He passed away March 2nd. And that's the reason that we couldn't call any on the inspection. We really, we want to comply and call the inspection before the 5th, which the permit is going to expire. But it was like a lot of money that we have to pull because we have to get an engineer there, open the whole entire, basically the walls. So he see because the work was concealed. So nobody want to give us an as-built letter, a work concealed letter, or anything to pass the inspections. So we right now did all this and we are on the process to call for inspections.
You think you can call for inspections within 28 days?
I have to go for the inspection before the 5th because my permit will expire.
Okay, so we'll give you 28 days. Is that enough time?
That's fine.
Entertain a motion.
Motion for 28-day extension.
Second. Hold on.
I would just like to clarify that they call inspections on electrical, plumbing, and the structural permit. All 3 permits must get an inspection.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 28 days. Let's get it done, okay?
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Next case.
One moment, board. There's a. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Our next case is on page 4. Property address, I'm sorry, Inspector Bobby Mazzulla, page 4. Property address 2407 Northeast 33rd Ave. Owner LHL Alpha LLC. Case number CE 19090682. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21. Posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This is a new business case.
Staff, can you please tell me, is there a witness that's prepared to offer testimony as well?
I'm not sure because we have Jorge Hermas there and Zhao Zong.
Okay. Rob Missoula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, presenting case CE 19090682, property address 2407 Northeast 33rd Avenue. I would like to enter a copy of the notice of violation into the record, which details the violations as listed on the agenda, as well as the corrective action for each violation. This code case was opened September 12th, 2019. I want to read you the building inspector's notes that made a site visit to this property on September 12th, 2019. This project was visited on May 20th, 2019, concerning a complaint from the neighbor of flooding coming from this property. Upon my inspection of this property with the owner's agent, Jorge, it was observed that the pool deck had been resurfaced and the previous after-the-fact French drain that was installed under permit 14071674 due to a flooding issue, the drain was removed while resurfacing the pool deck. Removal of the drain and the pool resurfacing recreated the flooding problem for the neighbors. I am citing this property for work without permits for resurfacing the pool deck. Just for the record, board, this note was documented by Building Inspector Kelvin Arnold at the time that he in fact made a site visit on May 20th, 2019, and was documented in the computer September 12th, 2019. The code case was then reassigned to me on December 13th, 2019. After December 13th and the Christmas holidays, on January 6th, 2020, I spoke with Mr. Jorge Hermas, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, who told me he's the owner's representative, at which time I reviewed the violation with him and the requirements for compliance. Permit application PLB RES 2006 0067 was applied for on June 9th, 2020. It failed plan review and has been waiting client reply, needed corrections since July 11th, 2020. Now, board, there's a history with this property. I was involved with the code case, which was case CE 131210054 back in December 2013, basically for the same exact problem. At the time, a French drain system was designed by an engineer. The work was performed under permit PM 14071674, at which time complied to violation, and the case was closed and complied. Fast forward 5 or 6 years, the property was sold. Board, you gotta, excuse me 1 minute, I need a drink pad. So sorry, board. Fast forward 5 or 6 years, the property was sold. The new owner performed the work without the permits. The drainage system was compromised, and hence the violation that's before you today. Please take a close look at picture number 5 and number 6 from Broward County Property Appraisers, dated January 14th, 2019. After this code case was open, you can see in the pictures, the pool was drained, the dumpsters at the property, no permits were active or issued at the time, and I believe work was being performed at this time without the required permits. Now, board, I was in contact with one of the concerned citizens that borders this property, and I guess he's not on to offer testimony. I would like to include a display of the data photos taken of the property, enter them in evidence. I asked the board find for the city that the property was in violation. I asked the board to ask the property owner to come in, order the property owner to come in compliance within 28 days or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. Thank you.
No, one moment, the respondent hasn't been sworn in yet. Mr. Zhao and Jorge, can you please raise your right hand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I ask.
Ma'am, if you have more than one device on in your room, please disconnect from one device. Or if your speaker is up loud, it will start an audio loop.
I ask for more time to bring this to complaints. 90 days, please.
So you admit that the violation exists and you need more time to come in compliance. Is that your testimony?
90 days. 是吗?
You admit that you violated the code? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. All right. You want 90 days as opposed to 28 days. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
是吗?
Anything else?
No.
Motion.
I move that we find for the city the violation exists as alleged and that we order the property owner to come in compliance by 56 days.
Second.
Violation be opposed and reported.
Second. I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. 56 days to come into compliance, okay?
Thank you, board. And sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier because I just figured this out. I believe the woman there, I believe she's the property owner. Correct me if I'm wrong. She's in China right now. Mr. Jorge Hermas is apparently the property representative. There's a lot other that went on with this property, but I just want to make the board aware that she's out of the country. And Mr. Jorge, you hear me, sir?
George, can you hear us okay? Mr. Hermas? Okay. You can come in, you can come into compliance within 56 days, right? 56. I can't hear you. All right, so
Sir.
got 56 days. Let's do it.
All right, thank you, board.
Next case, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 14. One moment, I'm sorry. Yes. Our next case on page 14, Inspector Bobby Mazzula, Samasi hearing. Property address 2607 Flamingo Lane, case number CE 19051876. Owner Jose Perez. Notice posted at the property 4/13/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This case was first heard on 2/25/20 to comply by 3/24/20. One section at $25 per day, order recorded, not complied. There are two extensions noted.
Rob Masula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case CE 19051876, property address 2607 Flamingo Lane. The last required permit for simply rebuilding a dock. Permit application PM 19091675, failed plan review, October 7th, 2019. It's never been followed up with needed corrections. We would leave the decision for an extension to the board. Thank you.
Property owner here.
Ms. Rizzo, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
What do you have to say? What do you have to say?
Yes, so I hired American Marine Engineering to file permits for the dock repair, and they submitted it last week.
You aware of that, Bob?
If they resubmitted corrections, I'm sorry, I'm not aware of that. I reviewed this case a few days ago. I'm going to take her at her word because yes, the previous apply for permit was back from September 2019. It failed plan review. It's basically been sitting since October 7, 2019. And honestly, board, our new software, I hope that this has not been purged from our system because it sat on the shelf so long. So
the board gave you 28 days. That'll be enough time to get this done and we won't hear from you again. Right?
I have a question.
Is that right, Ms. Rizzo?
Bobby, can you go back and check records now to see if this actually took place?
I'm sorry, sir, I don't have my computer and I don't have access to that.
I entertain a motion.
I have a motion, 28-day extension.
Second.
Yes.
Motion second for 28 days. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you, board.
Motion carries. Let's get it
Thank
done.
you.
Got 28 days.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 8, Inspector Bobby Mazzula, property address 4800 Bayview Drive. Owner Coral Towers Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 200809191. This case was first heard on 2/23/21 to comply by 4/27/21. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. Hi, Ms. Anu, I'm sorry.
Yes, that's right.
Can you please raise your right hand?
Yes.
Yes. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Rob Masula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating on case BE 200800191, property 4800 Bayview Drive. Permit application FIR MISC 21020003. Failed plan review has been pending needed corrections as of February 26, 2021. We would leave the decision for an extension to the board.
Go ahead. I know. Did you have something you wanted to say, ma'am?
Yes. So I'm the property manager for Coral Towers. Our management company, Consolidated Community Management, has taken over the property as of about 3 weeks ago. We've been trying to get in contact with the contractor the association hired to do this work and has just left that permit pending. They go by the name of A-Team Fire Sprinkler. We've had no success in reaching them. We've sent a certified letter to them on behalf of the association, as well as we copied another copy to the city of Fort Lauderdale so that you can have that on record. We are asking for an extension of time to get this permit corrected and get the work completed.
28 days enough time?
I don't know if that will be enough time because A-Team is really hard to get in contact with, and we're trying to get another company to come out there and just correct it for us at this point.
I've got a question.
Wait.
How much time are you asking for?
Can we have another 90 days?
Another 90 days.
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Is this this says fire water line damaged. Is this a life safety issue?
Yes.
It actually is covered, yes. They did the work and then they covered it.
And board, and I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm not sure if you and I spoke on the phone a couple weeks ago because I've spoken to several different people. What you just said that you're having a difficult time getting this contractor that was paid, correct me if I'm wrong, $18,000 plus, and he hasn't followed up with getting the permit. First, it took him 6 months to apply for the permit after he blatantly lied to me up one side and down the other, along with the fire department. I would strongly encourage you first and foremost to make an official formal complaint against his license with the State of Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulations. And as I discussed with your condo board president and members of your board, rightfully, the board, condo, as the property management company as well, have a right to file a formal police report and file a charge on this person. And yes, this water supply line, I don't doubt that it's per se live with water, but I have been in contact with the fire department. There were questions and concerns of the suppression system being fully operational and inspected. So technically, until permits are active and issued, inspections performed, it is a potential life safety issue.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Go ahead.
28-day extension.
Second.
Second. Motion for 28-day extension and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Case
Thank
20
you.
Do what you can do to
Thank you, board.
Listen
stay
to
in
Mr.
touch with
Mazzulli.
Bobby Mazzola. Stay in touch with him, okay?
Will do.
All right, next case.
Our next case is on page 6. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1110 Park Drive, case number CE 19050105, owner Valerie L. Burnett and Irene E. Thomas. This case was first heard on 1/26/21. To comply by 4/27/21, one section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. Ms. Burnett, when you start your video, can you please show me a copy of your ID because I never received it in the email? You have your ID with you? Okay, thank you. Can you please
Turn your mute
unmute?
off.
Yes. And raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. This case is not in compliance. I'm gonna let the respondent speak.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So I'm her sister. I'm Stacy. I'm here to help her. Valerie is completely disabled.
Okay.
So we had an accident outside of our window. We had a gentleman come and fix it, told us that he was licensed, that he was pulling the permit. Come to find out after talking to Mr. Martinez, nothing was ever pulled, even though the work was done. So we had to actually find someone else that will come out, tear the wall down, and actually redo it. So it's been very difficult with COVID and everything was going on to find somebody. I finally found a licensed contractor that would actually come, that I was able to check his license and make sure he was a licensed contractor to come out. But now he has to wait for an architect. So that's where we are right now. So
How much time do you need, ma'am?
ask for another extension.
How much time do you need?
We're asking for another 90 days if possible.
90 days. You have a problem with that?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a motion for extension of a 91 days.
Second.
Got a motion and a second for 91-day extension. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, hearing none, motion carries. Go ahead, ma'am. You got 91 days. Let's get this done. I don't want to see this case again, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Next case.
Our next case is on page 11. Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1636 Northwest 9th Ave. Owner, Odalis Escarment, case number CE 200-40219. This case was first heard on 2/23/21. To comply by 4/27/21. One section at $25 per day, order recorded, not complied.
Good morning. Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presented case number as read. The case is not complying. the city is requesting 56 days to extension to come in compliance.
You want to hear?
Yes, we're waiting for her to connect now. Ms. Holas, Sharon Holas.
Can you hear me? Good morning.
Yes, we can. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Before you get started, Sharon, I'd like to tell you that the city is recommending 56 days to give you 56 extra days. Is that enough time for you?
No, we would like 90 days, and I would like you to hear the situation.
Go ahead.
We applied for the permit. Everything was approved, ready to go, staged the job, went to pick up the permit. One of the officials says the architect has died, so they can't issue the permit with the plans that we supplied to the city. So this caused us a delay. So what we had to do is go back to the architects, get new architects to get the same plans resealed and resubmitted to the city. So this is what caused our delay. We would have been 90% complete by now, and the plans are still in the city. There's no corrections. There's nothing to be done. It's just for them to issue the permit. And I'm wondering why it's taking so long for something that was already approved, ready to be issued. You know, it's a bit frustrating, but I understand the bureaucracy of government.
All right, Sharon, hang on one second. Does the city have a problem with 91 days?
No, we don't have problem.
No problem with 91 days. I entertain a motion.
I have a motion for a 91-day extension.
Second.
I got a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. You got 91 days.
Thank you so much, and have a blessed rest of the day.
Our next case is on page 5. It's Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2103 Bayview Drive, owner Barbara N. Miller, case number BE 201-00022. Notice posted at the property 4/13/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This is a new business case. Hi, Ms. Miller, can you please? She's there?
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay. Hi, Ms. Miller, can you please raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do you swear, can you please raise your right hand?
it is raised.
Oh, okay. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting case number BE 201-00022. I visited the property in October 12, 2020, and observed that the fence were installed without first obtaining the required permit. The property was cited for work without permit, and an inspection report was mailed to the property owner with 30 days to get in compliance. This case was opened in October 12, 2020. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner in October 12, 2020. Final notice was mailed on November 19, 2020, and notice of hearing was posted on the property in April 13, 2021. Permit for new fence was applied for on February 16, 2021. The plans are waiting client replace since February 23, 2021. We are asking the board to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 56 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Ms. Miller, what do you have to say?
Yes, I would like to request that extension, please, sir.
So you admit that this fence was built without a permit, is that correct?
It was oh, this is my daughter. I'm sorry.
I was supposed to be on the hearing as well, but I was disconnected, it seemed.
Okay. Ms. Catherine Miller, do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do, and I'm an attorney for the record.
Thank you.
Okay, does the property owner admit the violation, ma'am?
She's not admitting to the violation at this point. The permit's been sought and she's trying to rectify the review and comment that were requested. So
The question is, was built without a permit? Yes or no?
There was one side that was replaced due to the damage caused by Murphy Pipeline, yes.
Okay, and that was without a permit?
Correct.
Okay, and they're suggesting 56 days to get this done. Do you think you can get it done in 56 days?
We do. We would ask that the board defer on making a finding as to a violation or any fines at this time.
Well, that's up to the board. I'll entertain a motion.
The survey has been obtained, the surveyor retained, as well as a contractor retained to rectify this.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. Anything else, Catherine?
No.
You're good? Okay, go ahead, Arne.
Move that we find the city the violations exist as alleged, property owner to come in compliance by 56 days or a fine of $25 per day per violation be imposed and reported.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none, motion carries. 56 days to come into compliance. Get it done and you'll be all set.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 3. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 328 Coral Way, case number BE 200602777. Owner Vincent and Linda Joffrey. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21. Posted at City Hall for 12/21. This is a new business case.
I have to recuse myself from this case. I'm acquainted with the families.
Fill out a sheet. Do we have enough for a quorum? I don't.
It should be in your.
Oh,
Okay.
Bruce, are we okay with him recusing himself?
We've got another out now.
We still got 4, so
The technical requirement for recusal is that because of the relationship, and it's supposed to be financial, that it interferes with the neutrality. I've always taken a little bit broader approach to this, and that if for some reason, as in a judicial proceeding, the board member feels that he or she cannot be fair, or that the analysis judgment would be influenced, that he or she should recuse himself. We've never really had a problem, and it does not appear that there'll be a problem in this instance with recusal, so long as there's at least 4, and I think there are at least 4 members present.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But the recusal form has to be completed.
Yeah, he filled it out already.
Yes,
I
he
get the
did.
recuse.
Thank you.
I have no financial interest.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Herschela and Mr. Jeffrey, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Inspector Leonardo Martinez, building inspector for the city, presenting case BE 2006-0277, property address 328 Coral Way. I would like to enter a copy of this notice of violation. The supporting documents and pictures into the record describing the violation in today's agenda. I visited this property and observed a decorative wall being installed without permits. The case was opened on June 26, 2020. Inspection report was sent on June 26, 2020. Final notice sent on July 30, 2020. And a notice of hearing was posted at the property on April 12, 2021. The building permit for the decorative wall was applied. Corrections were pending since July 6, 2020. No more than 60 calendar days after the day of such notification, where such additional information has not been submitted or the permit has not been purchased, the application and or the permit become null and void. At this point, the violation exists and no actions have been taken by the owner. I had talked to the owner, Mr. Jeffrey, in the past, I believe last year, because this year I tried to contact him and I wasn't able to. The city at this point is requesting 56-day extension of $50 per day thereafter.
Go ahead, property owner, Mr. Herschela. What do you have to say?
Vince, tell the board when you applied for the permit.
Yes, my name is Vince Jeffroy, and I would like to give a little background, but I applied for the permit, I think it was on June 26, 2020. I received the permit, and I was called to come and get the permit. I went there, I received, and I think I gave this document to the board. I received a copy of the permit with just landscaping signed off, which I understood was all that had to be done. Because when I went to pick it up, I says, am I all set now? And the person who came outside from the building department says, you're all set. I said, do I have to do anything else? He said, no. So on July 7th, 2020, someone by the name of KS and circled A approved. So I took this permit back to my contractor. I sent it to him and gave him a copy of the approved permit. He finished off a little bit of the work that was remaining. I was in contact with the gentleman, Leo Martinez, and he said to me that it was required to have 2 other sign-offs. I had explained that I was told that I was all set and didn't have to do anything, and they handed me a signed copy, a job copy. So I was quite confused by it. I would like to give just a little background on this job. This all started because the roadway has a real problem with drainage. It was draining onto my property. I had talked to the Department of Public Works to correct it. They came out and did some correcting on the drainage area, but it did not solve the problem. I called them a number of times, talked to a gentleman on the phone and explained to him that it wasn't corrected. I sent them photographs that the whole street was draining onto my front property and causing damage. And there was some work done by the city, but it did not correct the problem at all. Then I was told by the contractor who had done some of the correction that it was not in the budget. So I tried to figure out what could be done. Someone had mentioned that if I did like a decorative trim on my landscaping, that may direct the water more to the catch basin. It is not structural. It is just placed on sand. It is not cemented in, and it has actually been about 90% effective, and that by the neighbors and everyone else, quite attractive and similar to other items in the neighborhood. So I am still somewhat confused, would like to resolve it. I would be very happy if the city could stop the drainage problem, but I think that means regrading the street, which I don't think they're willing to do. But this worked. It hasn't caused any problems. It has helped direct much of the water to the catch basin. We did not interfere with anything. Nothing is structural, and that's pretty much it. I would love to have some time to resolve this one way or another, either with a variance or perhaps to talk to the city again, the Department of Public Works, to see if they can come up with a better suggestion.
Let me ask you a question if I could.
Sure, I'm done really.
Because what you've been cited for is new stone fence in front of the house. It's not a stone fence, is it? It looks like a
higher
curb.
It's a decorative curb, and it was put down as a fence because that's what the building department said to put it down when I went there. I'm kind of new at this, so they didn't have something that was decorative trim or curb. And I hope or believe that when they reviewed the plans, they saw that this was not a fence, and that's why they just gave me a landscaping permit.
I got it. You understood that you obtained the proper permit for this work, is that right?
After Mr. Martinez came and said I required a permit, and I went to the building department, and I actually sent a copy to the board. I don't know if you received it through the internet, but on 6/26/2020, I received construction decorative wall, non-structural.
Okay, what I'm trying to get at is, did you apply for that permit after they caught you or before?
After.
After, okay, I got it.
Yeah, see, I didn't think I was required to have a permit for the,
Didn't start to work without the permit, is that right?
that is correct.
I got it, okay. All right, go ahead, City.
To my knowledge, the permit never was issued. There was a correction as soon as he submitted that never was responded. And I would like to see the permit that he obtained from the city, because on the city records doesn't show. As a matter of fact, the permit is showing like the system purged the permit because there was no response at all.
Well, the city is saying that they're going to give you 56 days to come into compliance before a fine would start to run. Do you think that's enough time to work this out with the city?
I would hope so. I would hope so. If we could have 90, because I'd like to talk to the Department of Public Works also, because we might be able to do this in a coordinated way. But I would defer to your judgment.
There's no health and safety issue with this, right?
Well, depending on the point that you look at it, that's a piece of brick by the edge of the road.
All right. Well, anything else from the owner's side? James, do you have anything?
This is James Herchallo. I'd just like to point out again that it's not really a wall. It's just an edging, a brick laid on sand. And I'm not sure that the construction of a decorative wall is even required, that permit.
Yes, it does.
I do have an issue with the citation being a stone, new stone fence in front of the house.
Sounds like they wrote that down wrong.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion if anyone wants to.
I have one. I move that we find for the city the violation exists as alleged and that we order the property owner to come in compliance by 91 days or a fine of $25 per day per violation be imposed and recorded.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? I oppose. So it's 3-1, I think. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
We got 3-1. The motion carries. You got 91 days to come into compliance, Vincent. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 7. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1123 Southwest 5th Place. Owner, Jackie Reagan Shermer Maddox, Christopher V. Shermer. Case number CE 2006-0192. This case was first heard on 1/26/21 to comply by 4/27/21. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. Hi, Mr. Sherman, can you please raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Leo Martinez, inspector for the city, presenting case a number and address as read. The roof permit was issued on February 23rd of 2021. The siding repair to the detached garage permit was applied on April 16, 2021. The windows permit needs to be applied still. The window is pending. I mean, the permit is pending. There is a permit for window that was issued, but applies to the main house, not for the detached garage, which is what we have in the case on. The owner is trying to bring the violations into compliance. The city is requesting another 56-day extension to help the owner to obtain the required permit per day thereafter.
So I fully understand. It's just the windows that's outstanding right now? Yeah, the windows be in full compliance?
The windows is permit hasn't been applied, and he just applied for the siding permit. But he's working. I mean, he has some issues with the contractor. He been in touch with me, and he really is trying his best to resolve these issues.
Mr. Shermer, do you have anything do you have any objection to 56 days?
So just a brief background, I have been in contact with Mr. Martinez. I kind of explained to you that, or he explained to that I fired my contractor. I'm now doing an owner builder. I got the roof done myself and with the contractor that assisted me, and I'm doing the siding and the windows myself. The siding has been, the permit number has been issued, but the plan reviews were rejected. So I'm going to have to get the calculations specifically for the siding and hire somebody to do that. And then I'm going to have to, with the windows, we're just in the inspection period. It's been opened. I've got the permit right here on my desk.
How much time?
I'd be requesting 90 days just because it took me 60 days to get the roof in where I am right now. So I'd like a little bit of extra time.
Not a problem, sir.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion for 91-day extension.
Second. I got a motion, a second for 91-day extension. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 91 days, sir. Good luck.
Thank you, board.
Our next case on page 7, Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1431 Middle River Drive. Owner, Lisa Marie Quarterman, case number CE 200-40163. This case was first heard on 1/26/21 to comply by 4/27/21, one section at $50 per day. Order recorded, not complied.
Hello, this is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa, can you raise your right hand?
Yes, I can.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Leo Martinez, inspector for the city, presenting case and others as read. There was no activity on the applied permit since last hearing. I was contacted by Tabby, who works for the boat lift company, who informed me they will take care of the permit issuances. I will leave the decision for an extension to the board.
Lisa, what do you have to say?
I have been in contact with Mr. Martinez. Actually, you were very helpful. I called him several times, letting him know the struggle I was having finding a licensed contractor. I did file the permit myself last year, not realizing I couldn't do an owner permit. And then Mr. Martinez has been very helpful guiding me through the process. I shared with him the struggle of finding somebody that was willing to go out there and do the after the fact permit, and then finally found someone. I asked if they would please call Mr. Martinez, keep him in the loop, and let them know what was happening.
How much time do you need? How much time? How much time do you need?
We've already filed the permit. It's with the city. It's pending approval. I believe as long as everything is correct and there's no corrections that need to be made, I'm hoping it would be done in the next 30 days. I guess that all depends on how long the city takes.
Okay.
I believe everything on our end is completed though.
God, what?
56 days.
56 days, Lisa?
Okay, sure. That's perfect.
Go ahead, I'll entertain a
Motion to extend 56.
second. Got a motion, second for 56-day extension. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none, motion carries. Good luck. Case.
Our next case is on page 4. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. It's a new business case. Property address 3317 Northeast 16th Court. Owner, Orange Group Partners 2 LLC. Case number CE 201-00975. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21. Posted at City Hall 4/12/21. Hi, Ms. Santos. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Oh, we can't. Please unmute your video. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Thank you.
Leo Martinez, building inspector for the city, presenting case and others as read. I would like to enter a copy of the notice of violation, the case history, and supporting documents into the records, describing that the violations and corrective actions as stated in today's agenda. I visited this property on November 2nd of 2020, and I met with the property manager, Leo Caiseta, who grant access into the property. While in the property, I observed that the new balcony railing were installed and there was a new water heater installed. This case was opened on November 2nd, 2020. The final notice was mailed on December 10, 2020. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on April 12, 2021. A few days ago, in the past, I've been in contact. I got contact a couple of times with Leo Caicieta, who was the manager, and hoping that some solutions were made to correct the violations. So nothing happens. A few days ago, I received a call from the contractor who states that she would be in charge of applying for the permits. And last week, for the company, I got contacted by the company that installed the railings. But until today, no permit has been applied. We're asking the board to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 56 days to come into compliance, or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Go ahead, Ms. Santos.
Yes, my name is Teresa Santos, and I am one of the managing partners and the representative for Orange Group Partners 2, which own the property at 3317 Northeast 16th Court. This home was purchased from TAC Holdings on September 29, 2020, and has been cited for illegal installation of new balcony railing and new water heater. At the time when we made the initial offer to buy this property, the railing had already been removed, but not yet replaced. We questioned the need for a permit on multiple locations. We were reportedly told by the owner, Mr. Jacob Nasselman, the realtor, Greg Harris, and the GC of the project, Jacob Jacobulis, that no permit was needed for the new railing, as this was a replacement. After the purchase and while engaged in minor upgrades, the home was visited by Inspector Leonardo Martinez. The inspector was given access, as he said, by property manager Leo Caiceta. We were verbally informed of this visit by Mr. Caiceta, but never received any written documentation of said visit. The property manager did not write down the name of the inspector and did not tell us that any violations were identified. So it comes to me as a surprise that there has been some additional communication between the inspector and Leo Caiceta. First, I heard of a notice of violation was the first week in April, when another managing partner, Dr. Oren, received at his home the notice of violation and notice of hearing. And subsequent to that, there was the notice of violation also at the property in question. We immediately reached out to the seller and the realtor. They spoke to their GC as well as to the installer of the balcony, Todd Shore of Service Max. Orange Group Partners was not satisfied with the proposed solution by Mr. Shore and has decided to engage a new GC to supervise the remediation of all violations. We have submitted to the board a statement of confirmed engagement from MMR General Contractor. Additionally, on April 16, Ms. Montoya spoke to Inspector Leonardo Martinez and discussed the possibility of including the corrections noted on the violation into a bathroom remodel plan that was already being discussed. We are asking the Code Enforcement Board to consider granting us an allowance needed to request the appropriate permits and ensure that all violations in the new construction are properly inspected and permitted in accordance with the City of Fort Lauderdale. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to address the board.
Let me ask you a question. The balcony railings that were installed, you say you were replacing railings that were removed, is that right?
When we first saw the property, the railing that had been there was already removed. There was no railing at the time that we made the offer to buy the house.
You had a question in your mind as to whether or not you needed to get a permit, so you asked the owner, and the owner said no, you didn't.
We asked repeatedly. We had a meeting at the house where the GC, the realtor, and the owner were present, and they all reassured us that there was no permit needed because because it was only a replacement.
Hindsight's 2020, but you could have called the city, right, and found out.
You know what? You're absolutely right, and we feel terrible about this. It's the first time that we've been in this situation, and we want nothing but to make that balcony safe and to the codes that are enforced. We want to do everything right.
Okay. What about the water heater?
So the water heater was a replacement, and that we did. I didn't know that we needed a permit, but the MMRGC has agreed to look at the water heater, the balcony, and we are submitting plans to do a remodel for the bathroom.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Santos. I entertain a motion.
What did the city suggest?
They recommended 56 days and $50 a day.
Okay, I move that we find for the city that the violation exists as alleged and that we order the property owner to come in compliance by 56 days or a fine of $50 per day per violation be imposed. And
second. All right, I got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Good luck, ma'am. You got 56 days, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, board.
Okay, next case.
Our next case is on page 2. Inspector Mario Carswell, property address 2411 Northeast 32nd Ave, owner Southeast Property Funding LLC, case number CE 201-20932. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This is a new business case.
Go ahead, Mario.
Hi, Mr. Mize. Can you please raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Inspector Leo Martinez reading this case for Inspector Mario Carrasquel, who had to take off into an emergency call. Okay, Leo Martinez again, building inspector for the city of Lauderdale, presenting case and others as read. I would like to enter a copy of notice of violation, the supporting documents, and pictures into the records describing all violations in today's agenda. Case was opened on December 29th, 2020. Inspection report was sent on January 11, 2020. Final notice was sent on February 16, 2021. The notice of violation, notice of hearing was mailed to the address of record on March 16, 2021. NOH posted at the property on April 12, 2021. The pictures are describing the unreplaced structural members on the dock. Work was commenced without obtaining the required permits and inspection as April 26, 2021. There has been no progress to resolve the outstanding violations. We are asking the board to find for the city that the violations are existing and 56 days to come into compliance by obtaining the required permits, and after that period has ended, a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Okay, Mr. Mize, what do you have to say?
So just to confirm it, they're asking to give us 56 more days. I just wanted, we're fine with that. I've been in touch with the contractor.
You admit that a violation does exist?
I'm sorry?
You admit that a violation does exist and you just need some time to correct it, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we find for the city the violation exists as alleged and that we order the property owner to come in compliance by 56 days or a fine of $50 per day per violation be imposed and recorded.
Second. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, hearing none, motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, board, at this time, this concludes all of our respondents.
Okay. Nice seeing you again, Bruce.
He's muted. Hold on. Okay. Did you hear that?
No. I hear you now.
I'm sorry. I was muted. Thanks. I'll see everybody next month. Good luck.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bruce.
Bruce.
Bye-bye.
Have a holly jolly month.
Have a holly jolly month, yeah.
Yeah, don't start. All right?
Okay.
See you, Bruce. Go ahead.
Okay, our next case is at the bottom of page 3. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 2179 Northeast 59th Court. Case number CE 200-70880. Owner Claudia Pires, Ricardo D. Franco Pires. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. This is a new business case.
Building Inspector Leonardo Martinez presenting case and others as read. I would like to enter a copy of the notice of violation, the case history, and supporting documents into the records describing the violations and corrective actions as states in today's agenda. PVC fence gates were installed in both sides of this property without permit. This case was opened on July 22nd, 2020. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on July 23rd, 2020. The final notice was mailed out on August 26, 2020. The notice of hearing was mailed out on April 7, 2021. No permit application has been submitted to the city. We're asking the board to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 28 days to come into compliance or fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
I move that we find the violation exists as alleged, and that we order the property owner to come in compliance by 28 days or a fine of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Second.
I have a motion. Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you.
Our next case on page 5, Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1122 Southwest 6th Street, case number CE 200-20940, owner Tatiana Pankratova. Notice posted at the property on 4/13/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting case number CE 200-20940. This case was opened in February 25th, 2020. Inspection report was mailed out to the property owner in March 5th, 2020, and final notice was mailed in October 13, 2020. Notice of hearing was posted on the property in April 13, 2021. And the situation now, we have received a call from the property owner and the owner architect, Mr. Teodoro Izquierdo, and he is working in the plans to be submitted in the city as soon as possible. We are asking the board to find that the violation exists and they grant the property owner 56 days to come in the compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
I move that we find for the city that the violation exists as alleged, and we order the property owner to come into compliance in 56 days or a fine of $50 per day per violation would be imposed and recorded.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the old business, page 6 at the bottom. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 1108 Arizona Ave, case number BE-19120043. This case was first heard on 1/26/21 to comply by 3/23/21. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. One extension noted. Owner is Louis Jenkinson Joseph and Altini.
Leo Martinez, building inspector for the city, presenting case and others as read. There is no permit activity to address the violations documented on this court case. I will leave the decision for an extension to the board.
You want us to grant an extension or do you want us to set for a mass?
We can give it, well, I would suggest to send it to Massey, schedule for Massey.
Move for 28-day extension.
Second.
I got a motion for a 28-day extension and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed, I oppose, so.
Our next case is on page.
Is it gonna set For Massey?
No, it's 28-day extension.
28 days.
One more. 28 days. No Massey.
Okay. Our next case on page 7, property address 1060 Northwest 23rd Way, owner Hannah Humphrey, case number CE 19041196. This case was first heard on 2/25/20 to comply by 4/28/20. One section at $10 per day, order recorded, not complied. There are 2 extensions noted.
Leo Martinez, inspector for the city, presenting case and number notice as read. There is no permit activity since last hearing and since April 1st, 2020. I received an email on April 23rd that the owner is having, she has some health issues, and that's why they haven't been able to move forward with this to obtaining the permit. I would like to ask the board of 28 days extension to see if we can get the owner to come to the board and expose why she hasn't been able to comply with the case or with the permit.
28-day extension.
Second. Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, none.
Please remind me, at the top of page 8, did we hear that case?
No.
20, okay. Our next case on page 8 at the top, Inspector Bobby Mazzullo, property address 2500 East Commercial Boulevard B, owner Alto Property Management LLC, and care of F&A of Fort Lauderdale LLC, case number BE-2001-0101. This case was first heard on 1/26/21 to comply by 2/23/21. One section at $50 per day, order reported, not complied. One extension noted.
Rob Masola, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case BE 20010101, property 2500 East Commercial Boulevard, Unit B. There's no permit activity towards compliance to address the electrical or plumbing work that was in fact performed when this case was reviewed on Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. Based on the lack of compliance and the fact that this is a place of business that is open, operating, we cannot support an extension at this time. I would request that the case be scheduled for a Massey hearing. Thank you.
Next case.
Also, I forgot to read this into the record. The city requests to amend the 3/23/21 comply by date from 3/23/21 to 4/27/21.
Entertain a motion to.
I have a motion that we will amend the 3/23/21 date to 4/27/21.
To comply.
To comply.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, none, motion carries.
Thank you. Page 9, property address, Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 909 Northwest 16th Terrace, owner PBN Investments LLC, case number CE 19050138. This case was first heard on 11/26/19 to comply by 2/25/20. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, complied. There are 3 extensions noted.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The case is in compliance. City is requesting for fines to be reduced to $450.
Entertain a motion.
I have a motion that we reduce the recorded penalty to $450.
Yes.
$450.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Page 10. No, sorry, that's not correct. Page 11. Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 5535 Northwest 35th Ave B. Case number BE-200-20065, owner BRE Alpha Industrial Property Owner LLC in care of Gateway. This case was first heard on 1/26/21 to comply by 3/23/21. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not comply. One extension noted.
Jose Saragusti, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number as read. The case is not complied. The city is requesting 56 days extension to come in compliance.
Entertain a motion.
Motion 56-day extension.
Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you.
Page 12, Inspector Mario Carswell. This is a Massey hearing. Property address 3120 Southwest 17th Street. Owner, Select Ocean Holding LLC, case number BE 200-20064. This case was first heard on 1/26/21 to comply by 3/23/21. One section at $50 per day, order recorded, not complied. Notice posted at the property on 4/9/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. City is requesting, oh, go ahead, Leo, sorry.
Inspector Leo Martinez, reading the case for Inspector Mario Carrasquel. At this point, the city doesn't, is no requesting any other extension, and city would like to impose fines.
What do you want to do?
The city would like the fines to be imposed.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I have a motion that will.
What are the fines?
No. I think you say move that we find the violation.
Oh, the bottom?
Yeah. Not complied.
I move that we find the violations was not complied with by the date ordered, and therefore we impose the fines of $3,400.
Yep.
Per section violation as stated in the first order and accrued.
The fines continue to accrue.
And continue to accrue.
I got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion, a second to impose fines. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Thank you, Owner.
Our next case at the bottom of page 14, Inspector Bobby Mazzula. Property address 819 North Federal Highway. Owner 817 LLC. Case number CE 19070588. This case was first heard on 11/26/19 to comply by 12/16/19. One section at $100 per day, order recorded, not complied. Notice posted at the property on 4/14/21, posted at City Hall 4/12/21. There are 2 extensions noted.
Rob Masola, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case CE 19070588, property 819 North Federal Highway. Master permit application BLD CALT 20120010, along with the required MEP subpermits, failed plan review again, and are pending needed corrections as of March 4th, 2021. We would leave the decision for an extension to the board.
I have a motion to extend 28 days.
I got a motion and a second for a 28-day extension. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hearing none.
Thank you, board.
Board, at this time, we would like to enter into the record all the cases that are listed on page 15 into the record as closed or withdrawn.
Okay.
Before you end, can I?
Wait, Yvette, would they have to do a motion for that?
I'll entertain a motion to enter those.
I think she wants to say something.
Okay, I'm sorry.
On page 9, the case 909 Northwest 16 Terrace, where there was a reduction of 450.
Yes.
Are we going to impose on 450? Because it was never said.
The fines were reduced to $450.
And imposed?
It wasn't imposed because it wasn't asked to be imposed.
So this would have to come back to be imposed? No, this is a complied case.
This was complied.
So we will have to bring it back to our Massey to.
Yeah, we'll have to bring it back for a Massey to impose it.
Impose
but,
it.
I'm pretty sure that they're probably going to pay it rather than, they probably worked it out for that reason. So, but yeah, we'll have to bring it back to impose it.
Okay, thank you, board.
Now,
So all the cases listed on page 15 are good to go?
I have a motion that we take all the cases on page 15, 14.
second.
I have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Do we have any minutes, Yvette?
I move, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from.
Got a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second? Got a motion to approve the minutes and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Anything else, board? I got no messages for the city.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody.
No, we don't have any business.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Okay,
Got a motion to adjourn.
This
Got a
concludes our
second.
code enforcement board hearing for April 27, 2021.
Thank you.
Thank you.